Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat. I have a special guest with me today. She's also from my mastermind, besides being a fellow actress and friend. Yeniffer Behrens is here. Did I say your last name right? I should have asked you before.
You did. You did. Thank you. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Good, how are you? And just
great,
for the record, for everyone tuning in, it is Yeniffer, not Yeniffer.
You know, I'll answer to both. I always say, as long as the check clears, I'm good.
I totally understand the last name. We've had a bunch of guests on that have had issues with people pronouncing their names, including myself, of trying to pronounce their names. So I respect it, and I try and get people's names right because I know it can be like you did it again.
It's all good. I appreciate it. So how are you? How was your Thanksgiving? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm in New York.
Yeah. Our Thanksgiving's actually in October here in Canada. So yeah, we already had it.
That's right. That's wonderful.
How was your Thanksgiving?
We went to see my brother in Colorado, and then we've been in New York for a few days. We spent some time with some friends, and I got to see my son because he's studying at Princeton. So it's just been a really nice family trip.
That's awesome. What's he studying at Princeton?
He is studying mechanical engineering.
Oh, wow.
Mechanical engineering. He grew up in the entertainment industry. Yeah, he's an actor. Oh, you got your coffee. I got mine too.
Does your cup have something fun on it?
You know, he grew up acting, and you know, it actually does. Look here. It just has really great, something unromantic as Monday morning. It just has such great, like, little sayings. Charlotte, Emily, and Anne Bronte. I think this is, you know, from a book or something. We're staying at some friend's house, and they were kind enough to let us stay in their condo because they have a home upstate New York, and they come into the city, and they stay here, and we were lucky enough to be able to stay here. So I'm just loving all of their stuff. Look at this amazing pillow.
That's really cool. New York State.
Isn't it great? I love it.
It is awesome. It's got like all the things
state of New York.
The Big Apple.
Yep. With the Big Apple and the skiing and the sailboats. I mean, it's gorgeous. The Empire. Look at Liberty, Statue of Liberty. Oh, anyway.
Amazing.
So
it's really cool. It's fun to see some stuff in other people's houses like that. Oh, that's really neat. Like, I wish I had one of those.
Totally. And I have this wondrous spirit. Like, everything is like, you know, I'm very childlike in that way. I just find like joy in the little things, especially if it's red.
Right. I've been moving more into like reds and stuff. I was like really big into like blues and pinks, but everybody keeps telling me like the purples and the reds and the greens are my colors. I'm like, okay, I'll listen. So I still like, you'll still see like a lot of blue and pink in my advertising, but like my clothes are starting to move into colors that better suit me. So
got it.
Yeah, I don't know if you find that too.
I always say just follow your heart.
Well, yeah, like everybody's like, oh, you got blue eyes and you got brown hair, like purple, green, like red. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I like the colors over here. But whatever, it's fine. It's just I find that a lot too when you're doing like photo shoots.
Those
and
are
stuff.
great colors too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mainly in photo shoots and stuff when they're like trying to like pick out outfits for you, then they're more picky on what colors suit you. Yeah.
Of course, because they want to pop out your beautiful blue eyes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like the magazine cover, it was like all green. I'm like, I never wear green, but like here I am like fully in green, and it looked
that
really
was
cool,
amazing. So. That was such a beautiful green. It's an emerald green. It's you know,
Yeah.
the Colombian stone is the emerald
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Colombia.
There's a
And my husband's from
yeah.
Colombia. And I don't know if you saw the movie Encanto yet. You've got to see
It sounds
Encanto.
familiar.
It's the new,
Okay.
it's the new, I would call it like the new Coco.
Yeah.
It's a new animated movie and it's set in Colombia. And so you see this
Okay.
bright green emerald. And so, yeah, totally reminds me of your dress. It's so beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah, I will add that to my list. I won't remember the name after this, but I'll go back and watch the replay and grab the name again. So, but that's awesome. There's a funny story about that dress.
It's like enchantment.
So when they, yeah,
enchantment in Spanish.
Enchantment in Spanish. Okay, I'll remember that. That's easier.
There's. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just froze a little bit for a second. It's fine. Yeah, that happens sometimes on restream.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
Yeah. But there's a funny story about that dress. I don't think I ever told you. So when I first put it on, so they had asked for my sizes ahead of time. And when I first put it on, it was a V cut, but it was like gaping open. Like you could see like my entire bra. And then they didn't realize that there was a slit that went all the way up to my thigh. I walk out and the photographer's like, well, it's not that kind of shoot. So they ended up having to like pin it everywhere to make it look like it fit me respectably.
Right. A little more conservative, please.
Right.
That's not our demographic.
Right. So that's my funny story behind that dress, but we made it work. So they had to like keep pulling like the slit over for all the pictures, so you didn't see like this gigantic slit.
Oh yeah, what we go through, right? Top stick, the magic of movie making and photo shoots. Right. Top stick is our best friend. Pins, and we're like super sexy, and it's like we're getting pricked by pins and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you've got like all these like things behind you, like holding your outfit in place, and you're like positioning yourself.
Yeah, I totally. Even clamps, like you know, the big clamps. I've had the big.
Oh yeah, yeah. We make it work.
Yes,
fine.
yes,
it's for camera, as long
the
as it
behind
looks
the
good.
scenes, you guys. You're getting a little bit of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah. I love the one Brie Larson clip where she's like, have you seen where she's in the air, Brie Larson, for a stunt, and she's like, does it look good? They're like, yeah, it looks awesome. She's like, great, because it doesn't feel good. I'm like, yeah, that's movie making.
Exactly.
But speaking of movies,
us being actors.
Yeah, shortcut to Hollywood. Your company's doing amazingly lately.
Thank you. Well, Shortcut to Hollywood is our online platform where we take aspiring actors to become working actors. And I'm very happy to announce that we just hired 4 of our students in our next film. We've been producing through our film company, True Form Films, a film that's going to be shot in Mexico. And and we gave our students, I think like 5 or 6 of them, the opportunity to audition, and 4 of them got cast. So we're so excited because the director and the producer, executive producer of the film, really liked them, and that's our goal in Shortcut to Hollywood to get students ready for the industry. You know, it's like a one-stop shop. It's not your regular acting class where you just go, you learn your scene, you do your scene, and you're out, right? And the teacher has nothing to do with your business or your career.
Yeah.
What was missing for my husband and I, we first got to LA, that mentorship. So we had a lot of trial and error and years of like trying to figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
And so now, we look back after 30 years of working, it's like, how do we want to give back? How do we want to leave our legacy aside from our children, right? So we started Shortcut to Hollywood, and it all started summer of 2019 because we're like in hiatus in the summer, as you know, it's slow. And I'm like, what are we going to do during the summers? Let's do some workshops and jump around city to city and do workshops. And then the pandemic hit. And
yeah.
so we pivoted online.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we going to do? And so we were able to pivot online on
Mm-hmm.
amazing. We've been able to reach other students,
Yeah.
right? Example, we have students from here,
Across the
from New
world.
York, which in fact, we're going to meet our students today. She's coming with us
Oh, awesome.
to our award show, festival award show that
That's
my
amazing.
movie, Mi Amor, directorial debut is part of the selection. And I'm up for, there's 2 nominations. We're up for 3 awards. The Audience Award.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Best Actress for myself and Best Drama. And so little Sophia.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. So little Sophia lives in New York. She's been studying with us for about 8 months now. And we're going to get to meet her. And she's going to get to come to the award show with us. And so that's why it's called Shortcut to Hollywood, because on your own, oh my God, she's like, so those things that we're like, how can we it different, our acting class, right? It's the business of the business. We give you the practical tools of the business. We teach you craft, and it is an entry level. We love taking the aspiring actor, the beginner, right? The one that just got to LA from graduating college and now has no idea where to start. And even adults that have always wanted to do it and have never had the courage to do it, and finally they say, you know what, life is too short. I've always wanted to be an actor and I'm going to go for it. Those are our clients. And it's exciting to see, because we just hired one of them to be in the movie. She's a teacher and, you know, she's in her late 30s and she's fantastic. And she's always wanted to do it, but because of family, because of culture, she just went the conservative route, you know. You have to go and get a degree. She's been a teacher and she loves teaching, but she's always wanted to be an actor. So here she is in, I'd say, less than a year. She's been with us for about now. We met on Clubhouse. And now she's got her headshots. She just sent in her auditions and for this movie, and she got cast, you know.
That's amazing.
And so that's the magic of what we do. And I'm so in love with it, because I see the joy. I see I'm able to give to them what I needed when I was younger. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it makes total sense, because when you get into acting, like, you initially don't realize just how much of the business aspect there is to it. Like, most people are like, oh, I want to be an actor. And then they go and they start being an actor. It's like, oh, well, there's like all this other stuff. And thankfully, when I got into it, because I'd been an entrepreneur for so long, I'm like, okay, well, I can kind of transfer these skills over here. I just have to tweak them slightly, right? Like the whole like building relationships and the marketing stuff.
Actorpreneurs. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but a lot of people don't have an entrepreneur background. They get into acting and they're like, oh, well, like I just apply for a job and people do the work for me, right? Like, or I get an agent and my work's done. It's like, no, like that's not it. Like, your agent's part of your team. You are your product, and you need to market yourself. You need to build relationships.
Yes, that's exactly it. You nailed it. That's what we teach them. It's all, you know, we teach them mindset, craft, connections, business of the business. It is, you're opening up your own store. You know, storefront is what my husband says. And you're the product. Absolutely. Just the way you said it.
Yeah.
And having that business mentality is going to get you there faster than having the artist mentality of like, oh, I'm going to be discovered. And, you know, the phone's not ringing. Well, no, you need to make the phone ring to go out there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean to laugh at those people. You're doing it in a funny way. But I think it's a lot of people don't know. And that's the problem. Is they don't know.
It's not even, I was there. I was there. I was there. So I'm allowed to like go there and go, no, it's about really knowing that got to be business people first, you know.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I didn't get
you need
that.
the
It took me a
skills.
while.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
Yeah. Yeah, you need the skills. You
So
need the
that's what we
acting
do,
skills.
and we offer.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I was just gonna say, like, you need the skills. Like, you need to be a good product of yourself, right? So you need to be a great actor. But then once the product's good, you need to have those marketing and relationship and like all the other skills for the business side of it. And a lot of people are so focused on their craft, they forget about everything else, and then they wonder why they're not booking anything. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because they're not getting
Mhm.
out there and don't develop those skills.
Yeah.
Because it's mindset. It's like I don't want to feel like I'm selling myself.
Yeah.
Like it's like icky, the sales part. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You deserve to be known. You deserve to be out there. You deserve to, you know, you're enough. And you got to just really bank on yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like marketing gets a bad rap because I feel like people's definition of marketing in their head is not the same as it is in real life. Because if you're marketing right, it shouldn't come off as salesy, right?
Exactly.
Like Brie Larson does a really great job of this, and The Rock does a really good job of this. Like The Rock is marketing all the time, but he's not coming right out and saying, hire me, right? Like he's showcasing his workouts. Same with Brie Larson. She's showcasing the fact that she's fit, she's strong, she could be cast as a superhero, right?
Exactly.
Reynolds, like Van City Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds. What am I saying? Sorry, Ryan. I just said your Instagram.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
But he does a really good job of that too. He's funny, right? So he gets cast in a lot of funny stuff, and he showcases his humor on his profile. And that's what marketing and branding is, right? It's portraying yourself on your social medias and in your headshots so that you get cast as those things that you're made for.
Exactly. You got to go in and it's very
sometimes
interesting.
easier said than done.
So we it's a skill. It's a practice.
Yeah.
Like I say, guys, you know, like Tony Robbins says, right? Repetition is the mother of all skill. And it is the truth. It's like, and that's for everything in life and for everyone. Like yesterday, we were helping our daughter with math. And, you know, math, when we learned math and the way they're learning math right now.
Oh, new math.
New
math.
Right? We're kind of stumped. I'm like, I'm going to my old school way, you know, but going back to the basics is like, if you don't have multiplication tables, like repetition, it's the only way, you know. She was feeling bad because the 9 multiplication table is always the tricky one. So like, if you don't repeat, mama, you're not going to remember it. So you got to repeat. So the same thing for our actors, the same thing for it's, you got to just, repetition is the mother of all skill. You've got to do it, you know, like the marketing, like you just must.
Yeah, I feel like too, sometimes we get stuck in, well, we have to do it a certain way. And I always like to tell people that there's not one way to get somewhere. If you hit a roadblock, like say like construction season, if you hit a roadblock, you take a different way, right?
Yep.
So if something's not working for you or it's not clicking, then still don't change the goal, just change how you're getting there.
That's right. Beautiful. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Find a way or make the way. That's it.
Yeah. Because I feel like we get stuck like, well, I can't do this because it's not happening this way because so-and-so told me it's going to happen this way. It's like no.
Yeah. And then people. Oh, then it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
Like seeing it as a challenge, like how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How, you know, it's like, until give yourself. That was a really, I don't know, have people ever asked you that? Until when are you going to give yourself in your acting?
Yeah.
That was
when are you going to get a 9 to 5?
Yeah. I'm like, well, let's see. I'm going to play great grandmothers on TV. So, How long's that? This
Yeah.
is a life journey. Like, hello, people, right? So if it's
Yeah.
what you love and what you want to do, then you just take the
Mhm.
ebb and flows. You just go with it.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's the
What?
business has changed, as you know,
Oh yeah.
and we got to pivot with it. You
Mm.
know, all the self tapes, the
Mm.
whole aspect of it. Now that
Yeah.
we all have our phones and we all have our social media channels, we're able to really
Mm.
put ourselves out there, and we
Yeah.
got to be smart about it too, right?
Yeah, and we can get hired now from anywhere in the world. So you no longer have to be in LA to get hired for something happening in LA because you can get hired through a self tape now. So that's the I feel
Absolutely.
like that's opening up doors for people. So yeah.
So much, so much. Well, look at
Yeah.
all the students that I have from New York. I have a student from
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Chicago,
Mm.
Texas, Mexico.
Yeah.
At
Hmm.
one point last year when we first started, a
Hmm.
student in Venezuela. And,
Hmm.
you know, it's just fascinating to connect and to be able to
Yeah.
train others virtually. And we just came back from Tampa last week celebrating
Hmm.
our first client filmmaker, where we took him
Yeah.
from, we mentored him from concept to screen, and it was the
Oh
premiere
wow.
of his pilot. You know, so
Yeah.
we coached him as an actor, and then he
Hmm.
said, at first he came on as an actor, and then he
Hmm.
said, you know, I have this dream, I have this pilot that I'm working on, I've been
Hmm.
writing it, co-writing it, produce it. I want you to
Hmm.
me in the producing as well. And we were like, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I want to star in it, and I want to direct it.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's all you got to say. You get
Yeah.
to say how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you
that's the
know,
thing, right? Is if you're not getting if you're not being brought in for stuff and you're not being cast, maybe it's because there's not anything available for your type right now, right? Create your own content, right? There's nothing that's saying that you have to be hired by somebody else. Write your own stuff and create your own film. Yeah.
that's right. Your
Yeah.
own content.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nothing. Okay, well, there's like might be a budget difference, but there's no difference between you creating your stuff or being hired by somebody else. Either way, you get to act, right? Either way, you get to add it to your resume, and who knows, it
Exactly.
might get picked up. Yeah, maybe you get picked up by Netflix because you did such an awesome job. Like, so there's nothing. If you're
Exactly.
not being brought in and you're not being cast, then look at creating your own content for now. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
different
Absolutely.
direction.
And that's what about 11 years ago, producing
Yeah,
our own stuff and putting ourselves
yeah,
in, you know,
yeah,
roles that we've never been cast in, like a cop. I finally
yeah.
played a cop because we cast me in
Nice.
a cop role.
Yeah,
You know, I'm a
yeah,
crying mom and the immigrant
yeah,
and the maid and the, you know,
yeah,
and girlfriend and the druggie or whatever. And it's like
yeah,
so close to always getting a cop or a
yeah,
detective and not quite in the audition
yeah.
room. And then finally with our
Mm,
film After School, which we
mm.
won so many awards, our son was the lead. He was 12. And then
That's
we
awesome.
were also, the three of us were the leads.
Mm,
And that's
yeah.
it. And we created this vehicle for
Mm,
ourselves
mm,
and cast our that we wanted a play that we hadn't been cast in
yeah,
before. And
yeah,
that's the way to do it. And it's so
yeah,
feasible now because we're in the digital age. It's not as expensive as it
yeah.
was when we first started, where it was like you had
Okay.
to have film. You had to do it in film,
Yeah.
and film was
Oh,
so damn expensive.
you can shoot an entire movie on an iPhone.
Oh, totally. We did that during COVID. We totally did
Yeah,
that. And that's
yeah,
it. That's our anthology feature called COVID-19
yeah,
Sins. And
yeah,
seriously, yeah. And you know,
yeah.
it was an incredible journey because it
Mm,
was our way to stay creative through a friend of
yeah.
ours called us, and it was his idea, Alejandro
Mm,
Mendoza, a dear friend of ours.
yeah.
And he's like, you know, what do you think of this idea? Everyone with their phones,
Mm,
that's the challenge. challenge. Everyone gets either a sin issue, and you create your own story around what you're experiencing now, and only with your COVID pod, just with your family.
Yeah.
And it literally, Jen, we're like, okay, we're going to need 14 teams to join us. That's going to probably take us 2 weeks to, start calling people. In 2 days, we found 14 teams of filmmakers to say, yes, we're doing this. Yeah, so
That's
you
incredible.
could do it.
Yeah, we did that too. We made a short film. I don't know if you saw the boss bitch chick fight with like all the stunt ladies, the A-listers. So like I had wanted to do that for so long. Oh, am I back? Am I back? You're frozen. Pausing for technical difficulties. Okay, so the boss bitch chick fight.
Yeah, the technical difficulties. But you were in that stunt one. You were.
Yeah, because we saw So I saw Zoe Bell do it, and for a year I'm like, oh, I really wish I could do that, right? So I have like so many friends, like actor friends that do stunts, like are stunt, like they're not stunt actors, but they're like actors who have been trained in stunts. So we got 18 ladies together, and we put together a 6-minute short film of a similar scenario, and we did like a boss bitch chick fight, and it was so fun. It was all shot on our phones, and I even edited it, the full thing, on my iPhone using InShot. So, and then I got approached by a couple film festivals. They're like, it's really interesting what you did. Do you want to submit it? I'm like, okay. I didn't even think to submit this thing because it's just a bunch of ladies like punching each other out. Like, okay. Sure. But like, that's what I mean. Like,
it's amazing.
Even, like, Selena Gomez,
I know.
Selena Gomez proved that you can even shoot like stuff. She shot all of her new music videos on an iPhone because she's an iPhone sponsor. So like it's the cameras that they're coming out with are incredible. Yeah. And I feel like
they really are.
The reason I'm pushing this is because the whole mindset thing where we get stuck. It's like, oh, I can't do this. I don't have like a super fancy camera, or I don't have this, or no, people aren't going to view that as like good enough because it wasn't brought in by like a casting director. And we get stuck in all this like mindset crap. And I feel like that's amazing that you dive into mindset in your teaching. So.
Absolutely. I mean, the limiting beliefs, right? That we don't even, and they're blind spots. Like we don't even know they're there. We really believe it to be the truth, right?
Yeah.
And the sad part is it's actually the truth. It is your truth, right? If you believe it, if you say you can, or you say you can't, you're both right.
Yeah.
So it's what you believe that you actually create, but people don't really get that until they're really aware of it. Like you really need to make awareness your best friend so that you can go, wait a minute, is that mine or someone else's? Right? Is this the truth? Is this going to get me toward my goal, or is going to take me away, or it's going to keep me stuck, right? Or keep me in fear, keep me in my comfort zone, because it's all about that. But if we're not aware of it, if we're not awake to it, we think that it's the truth, and it's like, well, whatever, you know.
I've done a ton of mindset coaching.
Our students, exactly. So go ahead.
It's like, it's a big thing. I was just gonna say it's a big thing. Like unless you're aware of it, like I want to say that because we're always like, oh, think positively. It's impossible to think positively 100% of the time. Okay, let's just put that out there right there. Okay.
Oh yeah,
it's
totally.
Catching yourself.
That's not even
the ability
real.
to
like no.
Yes.
It's not.
And
even,
I came across a really good
tip. Recognizing it.
Yeah. So somebody
like
said
Jen
to Nate,
Gottlieb saying, fear, sit them next to you and go, you're going. You know?
Yes.
I
came across like a really good tip. Yeah, you just froze for a minute. I forget who said it, but somebody said to name the bad part of your brain something else. I swear it was in an acting class. So I named my brain, the one that's always talking crap, Lizzie. So when Lizzie starts talking, I say, shut up, Lizzie. Like, that's not true. Right? So like I'm disassociating the bad thoughts from myself. And it's actually a trick that actually works, right? Because then it's like there's another person. Not that you might think that it sounds crazy. If you disassociate the bad negative thoughts from yourself and give it a name, then you can quiet it faster. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's just a tip I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The way that I do it is I feel like it's the wounded child, right? Like the inner child that's still stuck, right? Because we make our decisions when we get hurt, or that fear comes in when that part of us never grew up or never got healed. So it's that child in that inner child. So I'm like, I get it. I love you. I'm protecting you. But we're still doing this. You got this, right? And then sometimes I got to do the tough love, like, oh, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No.
Let's go. Sit down. Go to your corner, right? Like, time out.
Yeah. Like, knock it off.
It's great. So yes, it's funny because you say, oh, you might think I'm crazy. I'm like, no, honey, I don't. I totally get you.
Well, it's easier, right? Because if somebody was talking crap about you in front of you, you'd be like, shut up, right? So if you give your bad voice a name, it's like, shut up. Like, can you move on?
I love it. Yes, absolutely.
Kev asks, how long are your courses, Yennifer? From Kev.
Yes. We have, it's pretty much ongoing. What we tell beginner is you need to study with us at least 3 months consecutively, like for us to know you, for us to see how committed you are, and so that we're able to then take you out there and introduce you to agents or managers, because that's what we offer is we will place you with a manager or an agent if and when you are ready. You know, and for like the beginner, it usually takes at least a year for you to, you know, unless you are, you know, you're just this, especially, how can I explain it? Right now, acting is become so real people oriented, right?
Yeah.
That just anyone can just book something and it's like, oh, she never took an acting class in her life.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've got Roma as an example. But at the end of the day, to be able to really deliver and not freak out on set, you need to train. You need to train, because you can have raw talent, but there's a difference between having raw talent and being a natural than being a skilled actor where you got to hit your mark. You can't block your light. You can't be hitting your lavalier, your mic, right?
Yeah, you got to stagger for the person behind you.
Exactly, right? So and the auditioning skills, like how to do a self-tape, like we give you all the practical tools you need to become a professional actor. And that takes
I feel training. So to touch on what Yennifer's saying, so auditioning is a skill in itself. So if you know how to act, you don't necessarily know how to audition. So that's huge in itself.
oh yeah. So we have our self-tape, a virtual tape course as well, where you perfect the Zoom audition, the virtual audition, the virtual callback, right? Because it's a different animal. And so the better, and this is what so many times this has happened, Jen. Actor knows how to audition well, that then they are like lost on set.
Yeah.
So we teach you to have both, because you need both. You can definitely know how to get there, right? But to be able to stay there takes skill as well. Because and then that's where mindset comes in, your confidence comes in, because the pressure, right? You're there, you're on a set. Now time is money. Now you better get your mark, you better, like all of you need to believe and have the confidence to be able to deliver and play with the big dogs.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I totally agree. Kamal says, oh, also Yennifer is a movie star, so nice.
Aw, that's so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. So I want to, we're past our 30-minute mark. I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to ask you 2 more questions. First one being, what's your
Oh
best
yeah, no, that's
advice
fine. I'm
to
good.
to younger self?
Jen, say that again.
I wanted to ask you 2 final questions before I let you go. One of them being, what's your best advice to your younger self? And then where can people find you and get to work with you and stuff? So,
Okay. So, the best advice to my younger self. That's such a great one because I keep, I keep sharing that with my students. And that's one of the things that my husband and I love to do. That's like the cornerstone of our teaching, is like, take the suffering out of the journey. Like,
yeah.
as human beings, we love drama. Like, let's just be real, right? There, we go to the drama, right? And the suffering and the woe is me and the victim. Life is to you. Life is happening for you, as our amazing mentors.
Oh, you're freezing.
You just need to ask the question, is good about this? What is here? This is only going to make me stronger. And don't feel your feelings. I'm not saying don't suffer what you need to suffer, but don't drag it on. And that's what I wish I would tell my younger self. And that's why I'm teaching I'm teaching now, because it's part of my inner child healing. Like, I want to give you, I didn't have, which is that wisdom. Like, don't make it mean that you're not enough. Don't make it mean that you don't deserve it. Don't make things mean in your life. When you don't get something, when you don't get the part, don't make it mean that you suck. Don't make it mean that, you're not pretty enough, or that you're not talented enough. I did all of that. I hurt myself. Now I see how much I hurt and then I went and I hid.
Yeah. Oh, you're freezing again.
That is for this is from the truth. It's like, no.
Yeah.
So for the role that in a production, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. There's different pieces. And when you start casting, you will see how casting works. And you will then, as an actor, understand why you didn't book some of the roles. You're like, oh, had nothing to do with me. Had nothing to do with my talent. It had everything to do with everything else that we are not aware of. Does that make sense?
Exactly. It totally makes sense. I love that. Now,
so love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself.
So you can see that Yennifer is a book of knowledge. I can't. It's got a shine on it.
It says self-acceptance.
Okay. Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance. And I know that we're running out of time, but I just love cards in my this is an angel card, and and a fairy card, and the self-acceptance out for me today. Because I asked, what's the message that I want to give? And the message is self-acceptance. So at the end, what would I tell my young office?
Love it.
Can you hear me?
Your internet froze. You're back. Okay, you froze for a second. So everyone can see that Yennifer is like, oh no, am I back? Am I back? I can see you. Can everybody see us? Are you back? Can you hear me? Oh no. There, are you there? I think. Okay.
if the connection talking. Hear you. See if you can hear.
I can hear you.
You can you can follow us at Shortcut to us. Shortcut to with the two. What we give consultation. You can audit. You can audit a class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Wait.
Yeah, I was just letting Yennifer know that I can hear.
And I'm like, well, let me do talking, huh?
Are you back? You're back. Okay.
Is this better?
It's fine. It's technical difficulties. I can hear you. Yeah.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So did you see that the card self-acceptance?
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay. So and then where can the second question was where
can people find you and work with you?
Shortcut to Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Shortcut to Hollywood, and you can DM us.
Okay.
You can audit a class, and and then we can also give you a 15 to 20 minute free consultation. And any, just reach out. Definitely reach out if it's something that you want to do with in your life. Don't, because when's the best time to start something is yesterday, especially something you wanted for so long, and just really put yourself out there. If you feel that means it's excitement, because that's what our actors, our students, you're excited because it's the same adrenaline rush. It's energy. It's all it is. It's our, semantics. It's like, it's just what you say. Your words are the what experience. So if you say, oh my God, then you're like calling in the nerves. Fear. I'm so excited. Right? It's the same energy, but you're twisting it, and you're be as your stomach, as sensitive. So
I totally agree.
So that's it. I don't know if we have a little more time, and if the connection is, I can read to self-acceptance, or we can, do it for next time. But
okay, I was just gonna let people know I will put all of Yennifer's links below this video. So if you want to go check them out, I think there's a couple more I have to add that she just mentioned, but they will all be below this video for the replay. So, but yeah, I think we have a couple minutes if you want to read the self-acceptance thing.
Okay, self-acceptance. Here it is. All righty. Self-acceptance. Goodness, I'll be right back. I got my
no worries.
Here we are. Self-acceptance. 2020 vision. 2020, I needed glasses. Nice. Self-acceptance, baby. You are perfect, and you are a perfect child of God, and every part of you is wonderful. Your angels guide you go of negative self-judgments and to enjoy being you. You are much too hard on yourself. Your angels say to you, although you enjoy having, learn to view yourself through loving eyes. Loving yourself. Right? That's what I said. Berate only makes your spirit sink. Self-improvement comes from a positive mindset. See yourself through your angel's eyes, and you will see someone who is a holy child of God. Mistakes in the past, there is nothing you could have ever said, thought, or done that changed God's love for you, or the universe, or spirit, whatever it is you believe in. Okay? Don't be turned toward God. This is something. Just be open to the universe, to the mad we are as human. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. It's all angels see past your surface mistakes. They see the beating heart of God's love in you. And they ask you to love the same way. So loving yourself unconditionally is the one thing that the number one as a child and as a teenager, especially because I was so dang hard on myself. Just love yourself. Accept yourself.
I think teenagers are the hardest on themselves. I feel.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for reading that. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. I know we could probably go on for another hour. But if anyone wants to work with Yennifer, if anyone wants to work with Yennifer, links below the video. And like I said, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Call and DM us, and here we are. Shortcut to Hollywood is here for the artist, the aspiring artist. We take you to become professional working artists. So
that's amazing.
And then we take the suffering out. All right,
amazing.
Jen.
Bye. Bye, Yennifer.
I will see you. You can come and be my guest in Hollywood.
For sure.
IG.
I would love it.